Here are two polynomials f of x and g of x. Are they equal? In this video, we will learn the concept of the equality of two polynomials. Let us look at these two polynomials again. Are they equal? To answer that, we can use a table to compare the values of the two polynomials for some values of x. First, let's try x equals to 0. The value of the polynomial f is given by f of 0. By substituting x equals to 0 in f of x, the value of f of 0 is negative 1. Similarly, the value of g of x when x equals to 0 is g of 0. Its value is also negative 1, same as f of 0. When x equals to 1, the value of f is equal to 2. G of 1 is also 2, same as f of 1. Can we conclude that these two polynomials are equal? Let us check one more value, x equals to 2. F of 2 is 7, and g of 2 is 9. This means these two polynomials are not equal when x equals to 2. Therefore, f and g are not equal in general. In fact, if we expand g of x, we get 2x squared plus x minus 1. We can see that the expression of g of x is different from that of f of x. So, this shows that these two polynomials are not equal. How about these two polynomials? Are they equal? Let's test with some values of x. When x equals to 0, the values of both polynomials are 0. When x equals to 1, the values of both polynomials are equal to negative 2. Likewise, when x equals to negative 1, both polynomials are equal to 0. Based on these three values of x, can we say that the two polynomials are equal? No, because we cannot conclude that the values of these two polynomials are equal for all values of x. So how can we check? We need to first expand h of x and simplify it. Then look at the two polynomials. Their expressions are identical. So g of x must be equal to h of x for all values of x. Now we've learned that if two polynomials are equal, the polynomials are identical. As such, the values of the two polynomials are equal for all values of x. Here are two polynomials. Next, let's see how we can use the equality principle to find an unknown coefficient. If we know that they are equal, how can we find the unknown value b? Remember, we have learned that if two polynomials are equal, the values of the two polynomials are equal for all values of x. So if we substitute x equals to negative 1 into the equation, f of negative 1 should be equal to g of negative 1. This means we will get this equation. And we can then find the value of b from the equation. Now, let's look at another way of finding the value of b. Remember, we also learned that if two polynomials are equal, their expressions are identical. We can see that they now do not look identical. This means to find the value of b, we need to first make the expressions identical. In this case, by expanding g of x and simplify and collect the like terms to get this. Polynomials f and g are equal. So we can now compare g of x with f of x. Specifically, we compare the coefficient of the x term. Therefore, b is negative 17. From this example, we can see that when polynomials are equal, we can either substitute values of x into the polynomials because they are equal for all values of x, Or compare coefficients of the corresponding terms of the polynomials because their expressions are identical.